So most holy Sanini Nanini Eve and our Creator, we thank you that you have been there for us throughout all the years. We thank you. Glory to your name. Glory, glory, glory to your name, because you have caused us to prosper. And those of us that can't prosper, we are content. And those that are not content is because we don't have enough. Did not David say, if you make me too rich, I will deny you? He says, now, if I'm poor, I would curse you. I would say to your face, who is the Lord? Who is God? Begin to steal and manipulate. These are the two extremes, the greedy and those who have nothing. And those who are made to work and do those things beyond for the comfort of others. And they see no prosperity nor no sunlight of contentment or some type of thing where they could sustain their families and have homes and lands for their children because of the greed of others. Oh, we have become wicked. Wicked throughout all the earth, where all the people, either because of the hue of their skin or because their geographical location, those who are poor, the rich have determined, or those who are benefiting, they're determined we want to keep them poor at all costs. We want to keep them in servitude at all costs. Oh, most holy Sanini Nanini Eve and our Creator, we ask you to deal in this area, that even the poor, when they do begin to prosper, that they remember you. Yes. And we thank you for all that you've done. And we thank you for this day that you've given us, for it's just another day. And we look for the time of renewal. Yes, the time of renewal, the time where you begin to make all things new, even as things begin to birth out of the ground, the leaves come on the trees. Yes, even that new year. And we give you the glory and the praise for it all. Yes. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook platforms, I'm T. Clay. We're in the book of Jubilees, the book of Jubilees, chapter 4. Yes, and we thank God for all of you that have been with us since the beginning. Yes, since the beginning. Yes. You have caused yourself even to give an insight, and you have given foresight on the things of God, and you have learned many things, even from Revelation all the way to the book of Enoch. Now we're in the book of Jubilees. Yes, Jubilees. And we thank you. And those of you who joined us in between, yes, you can go back as you keep up with what's going on and just learn how God has really blessed and how he has really progressed mankind, even to that point where there's a great judgment coming. And those of you who are just joining, start now and just sort of like get into it. You start from the beginning, and then as you begin as we progress this way, both of them are coming like this until you get like that. And then you done caught up. Don't try to hog it all or binge or whatever, but do it in a way that would give you peace. You can do it as a daily, you can do these videos as a daily, should I say, devotion, a daily word from the Most High, just a daily thing. Yes. Just daily. You know, just getting to the word, whether you hear it or whether you read it, it doesn't matter. You're getting the word of the Most High. You're getting some insight. You're getting some knowledge. You're getting a devotional. You're getting inspired. Yes, you are. And we thank God for you all. Into the word. The book of Jubilees, chapter 4, and it reads, in the third week, in the second Jubilee, in other words, the third week of the second Jubilee, second year, she gave birth to Cain. And in the fourth month, she gave birth to Abel. And in the fifth, she gave birth to her daughter, Awan. You can give that to your daughters. Those of you young ones, y'all pregnant or whatever, call your daughter Awan if you want to. It's okay. But anyway, We have learned how that sin, we've learned the origin of sin, and we learned the formula to get you to sin. See, we even ourselves, we use that same formula. Verse 2. And in the first year of the third Jubilee, Cain slew Abel because God accepted the sacrifice. This is why the wicked hate you. This is why those who don't believe in God and those who that are trying to manipulate God in their own hypocritical way. He slew Abel because God accepted the sacrifice of Abel. Why? Because Abel had joy, he had peace, and he had a communication with the Most High, and he wasn't worried about nothing. And he enjoyed. There was a spirit there, just as the angels, the fallen angels, are jealous of man. And did not accept the offering of Cain, because Cain did not give it with all his heart. He didn't give God the best of his crops. And he slew him in the field, and his blood cried from the ground to heaven, complaining because he had slain him. Even in the book of Revelation, as it talks about those who were under the altar and cried out to the Most High, so it was even mentioned in the book of Enoch, of those whose blood that was shed upon the earth, who cried out to God from the ground. And we have also reiterated how that those who were carried on ships, enslaved and slain from 200 years ago even to now, and whether they're slaves or not, their blood have cried out from the ground because of the evil of those who were greedy and those who thought that they were better, or those who thought that those who they enslaved, or whatever you would call it, they were better, and those who were slain were less than dogs. Even babies fed to alligators and ripped out of the stomachs of the mothers. These people looked at those who were in that time as dogs. Do you not think their children might think the same way? But anyway, the Most High, his blood cried out from the ground to heaven, complaining because he had slain him. In other words, he was jealous. It's not because you're racist. It's not because you hate the person. It's not because they have better than you. You're jealous. Jealousy is cruel as the grave. Come on here. And the I am reproved Cain because of Abel in verse 4, because he had slain him, and he made him a fugitive on the earth because of the blood of his brother, and he cursed him upon the earth. Now the Most High allowed Cain to live a little while, but there was a bad fate that Cain had suffered. And on this account it is written in on heavenly tablets, cursed is he who smiteth his neighbor treacherously. Cursed is he who go and send his armies to another country to smite them because of their resources, to trick them treacherously. King Leopold and those who went to kill Gaddafi treacherously. Lies and all manner of evil become of it. He said, cursed. Oh, you have a heavy price to pay. Go into the Congo smiting different people, and those of you who pay, who some don't know it ignorantly, they pay for it and they begin to see these things, but it's not them. What if it was you? What if it was you, they had your babies going into holes and underwater trying to get these things so you can have that pretty iPhone or that nice battery for your solar panels? Huh? What if it was you? What would you do? Cursed is he who smiteth his neighbor treacherously. This is not only on an individual or a local basis or a city or a state. It's also it's between countries. Your neighbor. It's between continents. Your neighbor. You go to your neighbor because he smite you, and you're going to go and even get more, even worse. And then to the point where you try to occupy his land. You bomb them on Nagasaki, Hiroshima, just to name one. Then you go and then you take his land, you prostitute his women, and then next thing you know, here you go. You're the best in the world. You're the holiest. Yes. You take towns and because you were jealous treacherously, cruel as the grave. And all who have seen and heard say, so be it. It's not saying that A word. If you're going to say so be it, just say so be it. Why you got to make up words? They're always changing things. You don't have to do that. And not declared it and let him be accursed as the other. See, Cain was accursed. And every nation that does after Cain and every person that does after Cain is accursed. You're cursed. Murder is a curse. Cain could not even, there was no sentence for Cain, but that which was designed by the Most High. There is no forgiveness for murder. That means that deleting out of malice. And that for that even rape. I'm not talking about funneling someone, no. I'm talking about when you have killed them in their spirit through evading their body and their mind is all messed up. God does not favor that in the least. No forgiveness. We announce, now funneling should be beat with a rod. He should be made to pay. He should be made to marry. But then you have those who do little boys. That's not right. And some who even do it to grown men. Death. Yes, death. For rape, I put it the plain word as it says in English. To take and violate a person's body is the same as murder. Now, before the I am our God, all the sin which is committed in heaven and on earth is in light and in darkness and everywhere. You know what? God sees you. When you creeping in the night to steal that car, when you creeping in the night to try to put somebody at gunpoint to rob them of their monies, God sees you. Somebody else gonna see you too. It says, and Adam and his wife in verse 7 mourned for Abel 4 weeks of the year. Out of 4 months, they mourned for their son because their other son killed him. They did not have the mentality of those of you in Western nations, nor of some other nations. You have a certain mentality. It's after the religious, the paganistic, ritualistic mindset of these Western nations. This is where your mentality comes. You have to come out of it. Because the way you see things is not the way the Bible portrays it. Now, he said in the 4th year and the 5th week, they became joyful after they have mourned their son. And they really, it really hurt them to their heart that the thing happened because that was the second son they had. Adam knew his wife again, and she bare him a son. She called his name Seth. For he said, God hath raised up a second seed unto us on earth instead of Abel. Someone that would want to give God his best. Someone that wants to give God, even if it means his life, he wants to give God the best of his crop, his monies or whatever, and feeding the poor. I ain't talking about no tithes. I ain't talking about no offering to the pastor. I'm talking about you got a whole community out there that needs your help. And if you pull together, you can help one to help another, to help another, to help another, to help another, to help another. One man is just greedy when he says, oh, I need a house. Well, get your little hairy butt out there and go buy you a house. Get a job. Freely you have received the gospel and that of the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and freely you're going to give it. And if God decides to prosper you, you will prosper. For Cain slew him. And in the 6th week, he begot his daughter Azarah. That's 2 daughters. And Cain took Awan, his sister. That was his first sister, yes, to be his wife. Let's look at this. Cain was already cursed. Cain had desires. Cain wanted a family. There was no other women there on earth. For so those of you who was there before them? God said, let us. Oh man. Your question should be, where is the information at? There just got to be more. God did not invent any other people. Mankind was the first here on earth. There was only man. So Cain took his sister, and they had a family. Yes. Cain took Awan, his sister, to be his wife, and she bare him Enoch at the close of the fourth Jubilee. That's the 4th year. And in the first year of the first week of the 5th Jubilee, houses were built on. In other words, one Jubilee is 7 years. 7 years. Okay? Now, the earth and Cain built a city and called its name after the name of his son Enoch. And Adam knew his wife, and she bare him yet 9 sons. Ooh, Adam he was getting it on, wasn't he? Now, that's good. Children. Yes, plenishing the earth. Yes. Replenish. God didn't say in this book, why did God didn't say go multiply and replenish the earth? But in the other one, he says replenish. You have to watch out these people that translate this Bible or that Bible with the book of the dead in mindset and trying to get you into paganism. You have to watch it. You have to be careful for those things. And she had 9 sons. And it says in the 5th week of the 5th Jubilee, or the 5th year, or the 35th year, Seth took Azra, his sister, to be his wife. And in the 4th year of that 5th Jubilee, of the 6th week, he bare him Enos. Okay, now we got it right? Seth had a son named Enos, and he began to call the name of the I Am on the earth, the Creator. He began to call on him. And in the 7th Jubilee, the 3rd week, Enos took Noam, his sister, to be his wife. See, there was no law against this at this time. There were hardly that many people on earth. And he bared him a son. In the 3rd year of the 5th week, he called his name Kenan. Yes. And at the close of the 8th Jubilee, this is the 8th year times 7, 8 times 7, Kenan took Muleh, it's hard to say that, I'm going to say Mulete, whatever, his sister, to be his wife. And she bare him a son in the 9th Jubilee, and in the 1st week, in the 3rd year of this week, and he called her name Mahalalel. And in the 2nd week, in the 10th Jubilee, so that's the 70th year, 70 years after they had left the garden, Mahalalel took unto him wife Dinah, the daughter of Barachiel, the daughter of his father's brother, and she bare him a son in the 3rd week in the 6th year, and called his name Jared, for in the days of the angels, or the spirits of the Most High, descended on earth, those who are named are the watchers, that they should instruct the children of men, that they should do no judgment and uprightness on the earth. And in the 11th Jubilee, the 77th year, Jared took to himself a wife, and her name was Baraka, the daughter of Rasujiel, a daughter of his father's brother. In the 4th week of this Jubilee, she bare him a son in the 5th week in the 4th year of the Jubilee, and called his name Enoch. And this is where we just came. And he was the first among the men and are born on the earth who learned writing and knowledge and wisdom, who wrote down the signs of heaven, and according to the order of their months in a book, that men might know the seasons of the year according to the order of their separate months. And with that, I'm going to say peace.